Hi, everyone. Wanted to continue my rambling thoughts on the mindset that you should think about having for completing your dissertation. This is really based on my experience and things that I learned along the way that I'd just like to share with you. And one of them is taking breaks. And there's two parts to this. You can formally take breaks, and then there's a way to informally take breaks, which we'll talk about here in a second. At GCU, you can formally take breaks between your courses, and I would highly recommend doing that. I know when we start the classwork and want to get to our dissertation as soon as possible, we want it. Nobody wants to take forever to get through their dissertation, but I'm asking you to consider taking some formal breaks at certain times, just to help you focus on your dissertation and get it to a good place before you get assigned a chair and have to start achieving and meeting your milestones and it's good to have a really strong understanding of your content before you get to that point. Some of the things that you can do are you can schedule breaks between classes. One, if you're just feeling a little burnout, maybe you need some time to step away from writing those discussion questions and writing those papers. Take a couple weeks off, take 4 weeks off, take some time off. It doesn't affect the program at all. And there you can talk to your student services counselor about it. But build some time in so you don't burn yourself out trying to get through the program quickly. The other thing that you can think about is at some point during your coursework, you can schedule a break where you can focus solely on pulling your articles together, doing your research, and building out what you need for your literature review in chapter 2. I did something like this right before I went into before I was assigned my dissertation chair. I took 8 weeks off, and then I had one course, and then I was assigned my chair. And during that eight weeks, I went through all of my articles. I took a lot of notes. I worked on my theming. If you haven't seen my OneNote video, that's what I spent a lot of time doing, is building out those themes that I laid out into OneNote that came in very handy when I was writing chapter 2. But I took the time to really make sure that I had pulled all of the relevant research, that I was prepared to go in and write chapter 2, that I could defend my position, and really made myself prepared to talk about my content and my variables when I was assigned my chair. The other thing that I did when I was in the middle of my dissertation work is I took a break, an 8-week break, to collect my data. Now, this is something you would need to talk about with your chair because your timing is really important with the end of a class and starting a class, etc. Because there's some rules about it around it. But think about taking some time off while you're collecting data so you don't have to pay for a course. For me, I took 8 weeks because what I wanted to do was collect my quantitative data, analyze it, write my chapter 4, and then when classes started, I wanted to be able to present my chair with a finished chapter 4. It didn't work out that way. That was my original plan. But it took me a while to get through the analysis. I had lots of questions. So once my courses started back up, I was able to meet with my methodologist, work through some things, and was able to get to my chapter 4 pretty quickly. But that time to collect the data and start playing with it took some pressure off. So that's one of the things that I talk about with taking breaks, is consider doing formal breaks. The other piece of it is informal breaks. There will be times where you just need to walk away. If for a day or two, just put your pencil down, put your pen down, step away from the computer, and just take a mental break from working on your dissertation. You may feel the pressure to get stuff done quickly, but you'll be surprised at how refreshed your brain will feel when you step away for just a little bit of time and allow yourself to do other things. Um, Some of the times when you can think about stepping back is after you get feedback from your chair, your methodologist. What usually happens is you'll get that feedback, you'll start reading it, you'll get frustrated. You might think, well, I can get through half of that, but I don't know what to do with that, this one, or it, usually when you get feedback, for me at least, I had to step away for a little bit and just kind of mull it over in my mind. So just think about doing that. Another time when you may consider stepping away for a day or two is when you hit a major milestone. Take some time away to celebrate. Go be with your family. I submitted my full proposal. I finished writing chapter 2. Celebrate those times and step away and acknowledge the huge milestone and the huge undertaking that you've just completed and what you've achieved. The other times when you can think about taking just a short break when you're feeling burnout, step away, do something that makes you happy, that brings you joy, that rejuvenates your soul. Take some time to do that so you won't burn out and then end up walking away from the program. When you're overwhelmed or frustrated, step away, take a day or two, take a week, don't take too long, but allow yourself to feel your feelings, but process them. Do something else that helps you kind of manage that overwhelming feeling or that frustration, and then come back to it. And then most importantly, when you don't know how to address feedback, take some time to step away. Don't panic, just step away. One thing that I found is when I didn't understand how to address the feedback, I would spin myself into overthinking and overanalyzing what I needed to do. And oftentimes it was a lot simpler than what I had concocted in my head on how to respond to the feedback. Okay, so if you don't know, don't try and answer that feedback immediately. Step away, think about it. Some questions may bubble up, or it may just dawn on you, this is all I really need to do. I'm overthinking it. So, as part of the mindset that you develop to get through your dissertation, don't forget that taking breaks is really important. And it will help you with your mental health, it'll help you with your motivation, it'll help you get through the moments where your dissertation is really hard. And it will help you in pausing and recognizing the work that you're doing and the achievements that you are making, and how huge it is that you are working on a dissertation and you are going to complete it. So good luck, and I will talk to you again later.